Good morning, everybody, and welcome back. So today's topic is this is the time to become debt-free. Let's talk about it, and it seriously is. The world we live in is no longer very stable, and it would be just really great idea to start paying some stuff down. So let's get into this. So number one, know what you owe to who, what, where, when, why, and how. If you don't know, you need to get a piece of paper out and start writing them down by the balance, what the payment is, when it's due, so that you can start getting yourself on a budget and start paying some of these off. Now you can do the debt snowball where you pay the smallest one off, or you can do the avalanche and pay the highest interest, but it gets very discouraging when you go and try to do the avalanche method because it takes so much longer because you're starting with the highest balances, which I don't recommend because your discouragement you'll just quit because you don't see any traction. So that's the first thing. Know what you owe and who you owe it to, guys. This is huge. This is so important. So number two is knowing what you buy or what you bought will help you understand why you spend what you spend in the first place. So if you're buying on wants and not needs, you're going to be in trouble, and you're always going to struggle because you're not really thinking about the purchases that you're making, and you're just willy-nilly, buying whatever. If you're a shopaholic, there are counselors for that. And I'm not kidding, guys. This is huge. This is stuff. If you shop when you're depressed, if you eat when you're depressed, it's a disorder. And shopaholics, it is a disorder because you will spend everything before you pay your bills. That's a problem. All right, so the next one is due dates for debts. So, and that goes along with knowing what you owe. So balance what you owe because you don't want too many on the same date. Now, this goes along with your budget, and all you have to do is just call your debts up and say, hey, I need to move my due date because it's in conflict with many other bills, and I just don't have enough in that period of time of the month. And they'll be happy to do it. I've already done it with my upgrade loan, and it works easy. You just pick a date and just change it. No big deal. So the next one is, why do you want to pay off debt? And this is the main focus. It's like, why do you want to pay off debt? I want to pay off debt because I don't like owing 50 million things to 50 million, debtors, and you can't relax and have fun because you're so worried about paying debt off, and you can never get ahead. That's why I want. That's why I want to pay debt off, is because it really helps you plan for the future too, because you don't want to be in debt your whole life. At some point in time, you're going to want to retire. You want to have things paid off and squared away, and so know why you're doing it in the first place, and it will help you stay committed and stay focused. So lower your debt ceiling, and what that means is have more cash so you can expect the unexpected. And this is why they say to have an emergency fund, because you never know what's going to happen. So expect the unexpected, and it happens. Just like we need a new roof, expect the unexpected. So it's nice to have certain monies in savings too. I mean, something happened to our puppy and she became paralyzed, and we had to put her down. If we didn't have, alternative, we would not have been able to afford that, and she would have suffered. So always prepare, because something will always come up. That is no joke. All right, so the method of your debt snowball or debt payments, the snowball or the avalanche, whichever one you choose, just remember that there are things that you can do while you're doing those. One is reduce your spending so you're not spending as much while you're trying to pay off debt. And that's what we're doing, and it is a struggle because you're putting so much money on debt. But this is what my philosophy is: what you sacrifice now, you'll get a bigger reward later. So that's why I'm doing it, because I know we'll be in a better place later. And another thing is reduce spending, and you can reduce and lower your bills. You can lower your cable bill. Do you need 382 channels? Can you sacrifice just having, 100 channels instead of paying, $360 a month? Can you get by with just paying, 90 or 100 and some, just until, you get things paid off? Just like I say, the sacrifice now is big rewards later. So car insurance, shop around, get the best rates. Same way with if you have a car loan right now and you're paying a high interest because your credit's not so great, shop around. You might be able to lower that and lower your payment, so then you can put more on it later as you start paying your debts down. And then the next one is accountability of your partner. So when you want to buy something, you have to talk to your partner or your wife or your fiance or whatever. Talk it over before you make it, because you're in a committed relationship. They should know what you're thinking, and it actually opens up communication so that you talk about every financial aspect in your guys' life, and it keeps your relationship really in harmony with that person, and it will bring you a lot closer than if you tried to hide stuff. Lay it all out on the table. And the third one, or the last one, is bring in extra money, i.e. a part-time job, working weekends, or shift change. Go to a shift that pays a $2 or $3 premium if you have to. You can always do all kinds of things, guys. Work in the weekend, pick up a couple extra hours just until you get something paid off, and then you can take a break, and then you can go right back to it. But you might decide that you like that job, and you might decide that to keep it, and you can always use your side hustles to invest. Once you get your debt paid off, you can use all that extra money and invest. I mean, gosh, you could be a millionaire, honestly, if you invest right. So that's what that is how, and why you want to be debt free. Just some things to go over, some things to think about, and it's a good time to be getting out of debt. I'm telling you, because we don't know how the world is going to go, and it's just to be safer than sorry. If you have tons and tons of credit card debt, guys, start paying those off. Get rid of them. You don't need them. Pay cash. Because if you have to pay in cash, you will actually think about that purchase instead of swiping. It's so much easier to swipe than it is to use cash. Trust me, I don't like to use my cash, so it keeps you on the straight and narrow too, guys, because it makes you really think about whether you want those purchases or not. So there you have it. Great time to become debt free, guys. Thanks for watching. Catch you on the next one.